Okay. Hello, everyone. Sorry for that horrible start. I am sick. But, that being said, I thought it would be fun to try and show you guys how to design your own Spider-Man coaster using Tinkercad. The first time I'm going to create this, it's going to be as a 3D design, and if it goes well, I'll try to recreate something like it in code blocks. Not sure how this is going to go, honestly. I've made a Spider-Man coaster in the past, but this time I'm going to try to create it exclusively using Tinkercad. Let's get into it. I'm going to be basing my design off of this image. You can find it on Printables, and it was made by Nerdy Views. I will be basing it on this, but mine will be wholly original, and yours will be too, hopefully. If you want to download it, a link is in the description of the stream. Oh, and I guess if anyone watches this, tell me if the music is too loud, or too soft, or if I have terrible taste in music. Anyway, let's go. So I'm going to start off by making this coaster by making a cylinder that is 3 millimeters thick. This is because I want a nice 3-color effect. As you can see here, we have the white, black, and red. We are going to be wanting something similar for our design. And actually, this piece I think will be the black. Okay, so I have some experience making coasters, and I find a good size to be 100 millimeters or 10 centimeters by 100 millimeters. I'm also going to increase the sides of our coaster up to 64. This is just to make it more round. As you can see, when I reduce the sides, our cylinder becomes more blocky. As it increases, it becomes rounder. Now, I know I'm going to want to do this, so I'm also going to drag in a tube. Actually, well, yeah. So I'll drag in this tube, and I'm going to make the radius of it, I think, 96. Oops, that was a mistake. Divide that by 2, 48. And I'm going to increase the sides as well. I'm going to make this into a hole, and I'm going to raise it up 1 millimeter by clicking on this little cone found towards the center of your object. Next, I'm going to click and drag to select these two objects, and I'm going to use the Align tool to line them up in the middle perfectly. That done, I can click and drag and group my two objects together into one. And this is to have a ring towards the outside so that no water will spill off the coaster if there's a lot of condensation on your drink. But enough of that. Time to get into the meat of this. So, we are going to drag in a polygon, and we're going to increase its size, its sides. I think we'll do 10 sides. We'll make this into a hole, and we'll move it up. I just realized I made a mistake. We're restarting this. We're actually going to need 3 cylinders, all 100. By 100. and this one is going to be 1 millimeter tall. We're going to copy and paste to get a second. We're going to raise that one up 1 millimeter. Then we're going to paste another one, and we're going to raise this one up 1 more millimeter. We'll select all 3 of these, and we are going to line them up in the middle, like so. This is because this will allow me to show you the different colors that are going to be displayed. So the top color is going to be black, the middle color is going to be red, and the bottom color is going to be white. Okay. Now we can make the same tube. It's going to be a radius of 48 like before. Sides are increased. It is a hole. We are going to align these objects. Now, because we have 3 layers, we're actually going to have to duplicate this object once. This is because we need to merge one tube with the black shape, grouping them together. And we also need to merge the second tube that's a hole with the red layer. Oh, I forgot to lower the tubes. Huh. Never let anyone say you're too smart. You can always make mistakes. I feel like I've made a terrible mistake already. But it's too late to back out now. We'll line these shapes up so they're perfectly in the middle. And let's see. That looks to be maybe 1/10 of the diameter. So if it's going to be 1/10, we'll have to lower this down. Yeah, from 20 down to 10. Maybe a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, I definitely made a mistake. Let me look at this. Okay. Now I have an idea of what I'm doing. Everything I did was terrible. But fortunately, we don't need to undo everything. We'll drag in another cylinder. Again, side 64, 96 by 96. It's going to be a hole. Lower it down. And we want to remove this entire black layer, basically. Just a little bit on the sides. You'll see why in a second. Next, we're going to make the eyes. I think that the round roof is going to be our best bet for making an eye. So rotate that like that, rotate that like that. And let's see. How does this Spider-Man's eye look? So it's like a combination between these two shapes. When you're making something, always be willing to reference back to what you're working towards. Maybe I was going about this the wrong way. I think I made a slight mistake. I think we actually want this to be like this. It's definitely going to be at least 3 shapes, but I see this half roof right here, and I think it's a bit deeper. Then there's definitely a second one. Then we'll duplicate this. Oh, I have one person watching my stream. If you have anything to add, please let me know. Or if you'd like a different kind of music. Well, that's definitely not right. Actually, that's maybe a little bit better. That looks a bit more like what we want. Still not great. But you know, sometimes not great's as good as it gets. We'll just add this in here to fill out this shape and fill in any spaces. It's mostly to plug that hole. 1, 2, 4. We're going to group these together. We're going to make them white. And I messed that up. Ungroup. This one's height is going to be now 20. Now we group them all together. They're going to be a hole, and we are going to lower it in. Now we have to get the size and the placement right. Let's start with the size. That looks to be about 30 or 40 millimeters in this direction. I kind of like that size. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate this whole shape. I'm going to mirror it, and now I have the other eye. I take it back. This eye looks goofy. Let's go down to maybe 25. No, I think that I was right the other way, 25. So these two holes I'm going to group together as one hole. Then I'm going to line all of these shapes up. Oh wait. Make sure that these are lined up first. Now group them together. Now line these all up. No, that's definitely not the best it could be. Needs to be taller, and it needs to be a lot wider. Okay. Taller and a lot wider. I might have to rethink this eye approach. Yes, I'm going to rethink it. think, well, to round out this one maybe, I think that just might be it. It's just there's a sliver missing, and it's honestly hard to tell where. Okay. Ah, there. That's how I can see the part that's missing. Okay. Let's actually just duplicate one of those. Oops. We'll duplicate this shape. And we'll just use it to cover up. That's a problem, okay. Hello to the 2 people watching. I hope you're doing well. If you have any suggestions as to what you'd like to listen to, let me know. I'm just putting on bright ambient music right now. Okay. Group all of these shapes together. Wonderful. Okay. We're going to make this shape 2 inches tall. And we are going to duplicate one of them. Hide it. And this second one is actually going to be black. And we're just going to scale it up a little bit. That's not perfect, but it's close. Let's do a scaling of. Okay. That looks good. I'll just change the actual height down to 2. We will duplicate this. We'll flip it this way, and we'll move it to the other side. Still too big. And we're going to stretch them a little bit. We'll duplicate this one now. Reverse it. And put it on the other side. Then we'll merge these two holes into one. We will line these shapes up. You know what, actually, ungroup these. Okay, that's good. Now, the red one and these two holes. Oh, actually, my mistake. These are going to be black, not holes. And these three shapes we are going to group together. Then we can reveal our hidden shapes, and my mistake. We're going to merge this black with this one. These black shapes. So merge all the black shapes, not the red and the black. Then we can duplicate this one and mirror it. That looks mostly the same. So I'm grouping these, I'm grouping the two holes together, then I'm duplicating them, and I'm merging the first set with the black layer, and I'm merging the second with the white layer. My mistake, they were not tall enough. And we've got some teeny tiny problems, but we can fix those up easily enough. Very quickly. That did not work at all. Oh, it's red. Is it red? Yeah, it's red. Oh, it's black and red. Man, this would have been easier if I had gotten it right the first time. Okay, so there's our eyes. Wonderful. See how there's this central point? That is going to be this polygon. We'll reduce it in height until it's the height as all of the other black elements in this design. I can't really make it bigger. This is as big as we're going. Okay. Now we will duplicate this one. And the duplicate we're going to make into a hole. And we'll group these two shapes together. That looks dorky. Hello, my one viewer. I hope you're doing well. Okay. It's obviously not perfect, but it'll do for now. Now we need to work on making the webs. These are all going to be black, and because we're using the red element of the mask, they all merely need to be 1 millimeter high. Group these two together. Oh. My mistake, these all actually do need to be 2 millimeters thick. Okay. Oh, okay. So this one I am going to have to duplicate, and I'm going to hide the duplicate. This one I can now go back to merge with the red one. Then if I show hidden shapes, okay, good. Show hidden shapes, okay. The reason I need to duplicate these eye holes is because I'm about to spin these black bars around the entire face, and I want to remove pieces of this later. I'm about to mess up a bunch of my own work. Wonderful. Well, that's how it goes. Hide. We'll group these two shapes together. And next we're going to duplicate them. How is Spider-Man's web? Oh, it's not symmetrical. That works for me. Okay, so let's figure this out actually. We'll do 10. And 10. We'll delete this one. Let's see. Looks aha, that's how to do it. Now, how to do this? If I were better at geometry, I would be able to do this. Ah, that's messed up too. Okay. That's obviously far too many. Where is it? Let's delete these three. Okay, that's not great. That looks pretty good though. Okay, we'll hide the red part. And we'll hide the white part. And we'll group all of our black pieces up together. Then we'll show hidden parts. That was probably a mistake to take it out like that. Darn it, still that little bit of black. Oops. Okay, so the last thing that we need to do is make some connectors for these webs. Okay, that's not bad, except for the fact that they're all out of alignment. I'll group these together. And we'll align them with the center of the mask. Then we'll ungroup these, and we'll delete the ones we don't need. The ones that are touching the eyes are obviously out. Okay. It was a good idea, but that led me to realize that these obviously need to be thinner. Huh. Why is that? Okay. That isn't working out how I liked. So we're going to change tactics and try something easier. We'll do a radius of 26. Place this on the red. If that last one was a 46, let's try 36. How many lines are on his face? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try 40. Let's actually decrease the sides. Not that much. It's gonna be black. What about 12? 12 actually looks pretty good. Okay. So it duplicates this, reduce its radius to 34. $28 perhaps? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that how many were on his mask? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. One more. 22. Okay, so we'll once again. Well, actually, we can just. I think we can now show our hidden shapes and merge all of these together. And my screen just went black. I wonder if that happened on OBS as well. And that went horribly wrong, and that's why the undo button exists. What was wrong with it? No, it still did. Interesting. Okay. Well, first of all, we'll do this the hard way. All of this gets grouped together. Now we'll duplicate this. First we will merge it with the black layer. Why did that not work? Okay. And there we go. A Spider-Man coaster. Oh, my mistake. One more thing that we need to do. We need to drag another one of these tubes in here. We'll increase the radius to, what was it, 48, I believe? Our sides will go to max. We'll align these shapes up. like so. We'll turn this to a hole and we'll merge it with this black shape. There we go. That's much better. So that's my design of a Spider-Man coaster. It's obviously not perfect, but I made it myself, and maybe you can too. I hope you liked watching this. If people are interested, please comment on the video whether you'd like to see me do a step-by-step guide in code blocks in how to create this design. Either way, I'm Zeke, and I'm signing off for the night. Unless anyone has any questions. The one person who's watching this. Thank you for watching, by the way. By the way, one person who's watching this, if you're asking any questions, I'm very sorry, but I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh. Thank you very much, Pickleson. Thanks, Pickleson. You got me.